Good morning, everybody. It's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm, and I'm starting off this morning by feeding. It's early and it's warm. It's already 70 degrees here in Alabama. I'm telling you, I don't know where you are, but it's been unseasonably warm here, and I, for one, am enjoying that. If it could just stay like this, we'd be, well, I think most of us would be comfortable. So I want to tell you about some changes that we've made here, not only with the new addition of the little white emu, but some other changes. So Matilda's letting me know that she wants to talk for a minute, so I'm gonna hand it over to her. I heard Pookie. Anyway, there's a dark spot in between the dark spot here, and that would be Bramble. You can barely see his eyes peeking out. Every morning when I come, I have the back door cracked to where they can go outside if they need to, but Bramble greets me. Bramble, you open these doors for me, buddy? So I had to make a stop in the milk room to get Matilda's medication to add to her feed. And the cats are letting me know that, well, their bowl's a little bit low, but I gotta show y'all the most wonderful thing that I've added for the cats as to this point. Well, I say cats plural, but it's probably mostly Biscuit's enjoying it. So I knew Biscuit enjoyed the window. So I thought, well, since she sits in the sill, how about I see if there isn't a way that I could add a window seat? And I found just that. I ordered a window seat that has some suction cups, says it holds up to 40 pounds. Biscuit, you got a ways to go. But I was anticipating Biscuit may still lay in the windowsill and another of the two cats could enjoy the top seat. Not so. Biscuit says this is a wonderful addition and she appreciates it. Now Jason and I, we have found Sylvester sleeping double in a single bed with her, but we haven't seen Bramble do that. So I don't know if they just don't, there she jumped down. She heard me getting the food. I don't know if they just don't allow Bramble to join them in the single bed, or if Bramble said, hey, Mama, you're gonna need to order one more of those. Matilda's still talking. So I'm adding a couple of her arthritis medications to her food still. Dr. D wants me to start a joint supplement on her. He has had a surgery recently, but he is working on getting me what I need to supplement Matilda for long-term use, because while the meloxicam is a good drug, he wants her to be on something permanently that she can use throughout her life. So here she is, Miss Matilda, and if you notice, I did not go in the barn to get her food bucket ready. I came out here where the stall door's open. She has access to stay out in the pasture with Jessie and Honey now in the evening, or she can come in the stall and sleep. So this is where the change has occurred. Good morning, sweet girl. Get your feed put down there and a couple of peels on top of it. There you go, to where you can have your medication. But here's my change. But as she has grown into a much bigger calf, her output has become much bigger too. And while I don't mind cleaning out the stalls, it became a little bit much, especially since the temperatures are warm. There's no reason for her to be put in an inside stall at night to be locked up. Now, when she was very new here, the temperatures were very cold. She was a bit feeble. Yes, that stall was wonderful, but now she doesn't need it anymore. So she's a big girl and she is enjoying being able to stay out at night and not have to wait on me to open the door. She can have hay all night long if she chooses, or she can choose to just lay down in a stall and sleep like she has in the past. But no more inside scooping of cow manure because she's a big girl. So here's Matilda's stall. I have cleaned it out, and you can tell there's no shavings in here. It's just a stall mat. And while I did not intentionally open or clean out this stall and make Matilda start staying outside due to the new addition, it did occur to me, since it was empty, and Mr. Little Man next door, the newest addition, White Emu, is right next door. This place is wide open. I have indeed opened the stall door to where he and his little silky friend, who doesn't have a name either, can indeed enjoy running across the stalls. Now, I don't have, like I said, any carpet down, but it's not a slick surface. It's not just concrete down that he could potentially harm himself on. It is stall mats. He's not spending a lot of time on that side, but he is enjoying running back and forth. So it came at a good time to move Matilda. Excuse me for interrupting your program, but Sylvester had to make his appearance this morning. That was cute. So here he is with his little silky friend, and you guys caught a glimpse of him doing that little zoomie to where he can enjoy both this stall and Matilda's old stall. And I'm planning to take this carpet outside today and rinse it off, especially since he has a big enough area to go to where I won't feel like he's confined. Now, you will see later this afternoon that I'm going to take him outside. Of course, it's 70 degrees now, but emu chicks at this age need temperatures to be mid-70s, and while that sounds close enough to perfect for you, I don't want to take any chances. I don't want him to get chilled. I want to make sure that everything is done the way it's supposed to, and he's got plenty of room to walk around now, so we're not in any hurry, but I will show y'all him doing his zoomies outside a little bit later today. Now, Miss Pocket here. Girl, did you lay down last night? You got shavings all over you. Everybody wants to see your teeth this morning. Come here and give me some kisses. Peaches, you ready for your breakfast? Stop with the talking, Mama. You gotta fix our food. So I'm gonna do that now, and then we'll show a few more things. Well, I have the cows fed behind me. Tater, Mildred, and Moody have quit mooing because they have their grain, and that always makes them be quiet for just a little bit anyway. Jesse and Honey are already out this morning. Just opened Tip up because I keep him separated from the others at night. He wants to be a bully from time to time, and it's just easier for me to put him in a separate stall, especially when it's feeding time, which is how we put our goats up at night, is we feed them at that time so we can shut the door behind them. And Tip just works out better if he's by himself. Little Topper, I don't know why, y'all, but he is so intimidated by Tip, and they've been together all their life, but Tip is the dominant goat, and Topper just about won't come in the stall when Tip's already in there. So separation is best for Topper, and we have a large enough area to where when they're out here, there's no worries about Topper not being able to get away from Tip if he chooses to do so. Good morning, pretty girl. You finished eating? You finished eating this morning? Come on. Come on. Now, yesterday morning I came out here and I started walking backwards. She was looking at me like that, and we ran all the way to the back of the pasture over here. She may not be as frisky this morning, but it looks like she's been laying down in some dirt. She's got a little orange color going on. Not sure what that's about. There goes Topper, king of the mountain, buddy. That's right. You are the king. Come on, Matilda. Wouldn't you know, the day I'm rolling with the camera, she's going to act like she doesn't want to. Well, I wasn't going to show you Matilda running anyway, so that's a good thing. If she had, of course, we'd have all smiled and loved it, but that ain't what I was going to show you. I wanted to show you how happy I am about what's happening over here in the pasture. And I told y'all that the temperatures have been a lot warmer here in Alabama. We reached 80 degrees yesterday, and that's quite phenomenal for early February. Even in Alabama, that's early. So the last hay bale that I put out here for the cows was the day that Marycarl took Jason to the doctor. I don't know how many days ago that was, but it feels like it was yesterday. And I am down to 8 round bales of hay. and that is to hold over the goats, hold over the cows until we get some green grass. I have went and got 8 additional bales since the 16 that we purchased initially. So we have gone through 16 bales of hay so far with just 3 cows, basically, because Matilda wasn't here until a month or so ago. And then the goats eat kind of slow. I am giving Joe and Mo a round bale, but that's only been done twice. So with subtracting theirs, I've been through 14 round bales of hay in just a short period of time. Now, here is what I want to show you. This is the hay ring that we use. It's poly, and that means it's plastic. The reason we use it is because Moody has destroyed every other thing we've ever used. So the poly is supposed to be indestructible. Now I'm going to get out there and I'm going to scrape these patties around, because nobody, including cows, wants to walk around with their feet in their own manure. I'm just using the rake on my tractor, or I could use a drag. I could use an old, well, they call them cattle panels, but you could pull one of those behind your side-by-side. There's no excuse for a mess like I have behind me right now to accumulate over time. Yes, it makes for good fertilizer, but guess what? It makes for good fertilizer if you spread it around too. So there's no reason for those patties to sit there and make mounds if you have time to clean it up. So I got their gate shut behind me while they're eating, and that just means that I'm going to give them a hay bale. I don't want to have to continue to avoid them while I'm out here scraping. Good thing we have a separate area, although I could do it if they were out here. But here's what I want to show y'all. Here's a touch of Alabama spring in February. I don't know how well it shows up on the camera. Some of this is weeds, some of it is grass, but a lot of it is green. And that's what I was hoping to see earlier rather than later in the season this year, because that just means that we won't have to feed hay as long as we thought. Our hay supplier usually tells people that they're going to start baling in June. Now, it may be that they can start baling in April, but they tell people June because they don't want people coming in May or April and saying, you told me hay was going to be ready already, and it's not. So that protects them and lets people know that they need to be prepared. If you run out of hay, well, you know when they told you they were probably going to bale. And I hope that that doesn't happen to me, because the grass is starting to green up. All right, Matilda, what do you think about old big man over here? He's kind of large, isn't he? Moody, what you doing this morning? You checking out Matilda? She's a beautiful girl, isn't she? So while Matilda's face is mostly white with a little black on the side, Moody's face, on the other hand, is entirely black with just a little bit of white in between his horns. And look at the two of them and their size difference. Can y'all believe Moody was ever this size? I mean, that's hard for me to believe. I know she's a heifer and he's a steer, but still, good gracious. I mean, my camera won't even, I have to back up to get him in the total view. That's a world of difference. Bootsy, we are not opening any gates this morning. Do you hear me? This gate has to have that beaner clip back on it, and it has to be locked, because this man over here has a tendency to figure out how to play limbo, teach his girlfriends how to play limbo, and not tear up this electric wire that we have going across the top. That's still a mystery to me, but you guys said that you caught it on camera. When I set the camera down and said, I wish I could see him go under that, you guys did actually see him duck and go under that wire. It won't be long, baby girl. I have a feeling Dr. D's gonna say at some point you can go in with the cows. And initially, we didn't know if that was gonna be the case or not. We didn't know if she would ever be able to live with the cows. But I don't wanna make any decisions without Dr. D actually coming over, putting his hands on Matilda, seeing how she has improved before we were to make a decision to put her in with the other bovine. He's the experienced one. I'm just here to try to help them continue their life, and like Matilda's situation, not be in any pain, or be in as little pain as possible. So here's typical Tip. Tip is a wether, which means he's fixed. He's got his tongue sticking out. He is acting like a buck. He has no ability to breed, but he's telling us that little Laura here is indeed in heat. And while little Laura has not been as dramatic as Mabel or Martha about her heat cycle, Tip is still just as dramatic. He acts like Joe. He literally does. He acts like Joe. Tip, it's not gonna work, buddy. It's not gonna work. Your days are over. Pokey, you've been fed. Now Dee Dee, she gets kind of impatient as time draws near and she realizes we're done feeding. She's ready to go. She's ready to go home, and she will get on the tractor with me and we'll go put the hay spear on the front. But she's done. She's ready to go home. She knows our job's over. So I used my tractor yesterday to finish cleaning out the buckets that I had used for Matilda's manure. And what we're doing with that is taking it over to the garden. And it has shavings in it, but those shavings will decompose, and it's just adding good compost to the garden. Of course, you know, we'd rather it be just straight manure, but since I cleaned out the stall for the last time and didn't keep any shavings in it, I just went ahead and dumped all that stuff in the garden. And of course, my sidekick here helped me. I get our cows some hay, don't we? I'm down by the old barn, and I wanted to show y'all how to take the tractor bucket off a Kubota tractor. It's very easy. Now, I don't know if it's like this for all Kubotas, but it is for the ones that we've owned. I simply have two levers here, and I pull that one up. I go around, pull this one up, get on my tractor, lift the bucket up a little bit. It comes off two swinging hinges in the front, and voila, off it goes. Easy as that. So you saw how easy it was to take the bucket off. Let me show you how easy it is to put the implement on that has the hay spear. So it's parked over in our implement area. That's what we're gonna call it. Get this camera adjusted right and show y'all just how easy this is. It's not a two-person job. One person can do it. Of course, we aren't sponsored by Kubota, but it's the only product that we have ever owned, tractor-wise. And it's so easy that anybody can do it. The biggest thing here is getting squared up, getting in front of it where you can see. Of course, I'm filming, so I'm probably gonna not do this correctly. Tilt it in a little bit more. Missed that one. Told y'all I'm filming, so it's gonna not be as easy as it normally is. But it's very easy to get on. Just gotta get both of those lips. Oh, I'm being made a fool. So here we go, driving into the implement, get both sides under the lip here, lift up, put my emergency brake on, push both of these down to lock it in place, and go grab my dog. Not those big ones over there though. They can't ride. Come on, Dee Dee. We're not done yet, girl. You can go home if you want to. All right, so she's decided she's staying. But you can see the back of the house is right here, and I'm down in the bottom where our implements are. Oh, need to make sure this nut is tightened for the hay spear, and it is, just like that. It's not too bad to have to switch implements. All right, here I am where my 4 hay bales are stored. Got 4 over here and 4 inside the barn. Yes, I want to get those out of the barn, but I want to use these that have been stored outside first. Easy as that. Off we go. I see Moody mooing. There's no doubt he knows I'm coming with a fresh new hay bale. I'm coming, babies. Well, I'm here with a hay bale on the tractor, opening the gate. And I don't think it's going to show up on the camera, but it's obvious that the neighbor's cows across the road realize that I've got some hay, because I hear some mooing going on and a lot of heads turn this way. And he does keep his cows supplied with hay, but it's just something about that new bale that gets them fired up. Mildred's over there licking her lips. Easy as that. And this part's even easier. No reason to leave cow patties standing for your cows to stand in it if you can do anything about it. And we do this every time we put a fresh bale of hay in. And also during the summer months when we're not feeding hay, we do it then also. All right, everybody, I timed it. It took me 6 minutes to scrape this area. You don't want to see that mess, do you, buddy? No. And y'all may think I'm crazy for opening this gate, but I know what he's gonna do, and that is go immediately to the hay bale or to my tractor. Hey, y'all can't drive that. Go on over there and enjoy your hay. Moody, you really put it into perspective when you're standing beside this big giant tractor. Don't do it, buddy. Don't do it. Hey, hey, hey. My tractor, buddy. You go over there and enjoy your hay bale. That's right. There's a little bit of green down there, but it's nothing like it is over there where I spread out the manure. And there's very little manure anywhere else except for where they congregate around their hay. It's a little bit here and there, but to me it's most important to keep it clean where they're eating. I got finished taking care of everything that I intended to do today, even put the bucket back on the tractor, and the temperatures have had a chance to warm up a little bit. So when I entered the barn, I could hear pa, 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 and I realized real quick that it was little man's feet running across the stall mat. So he's ready to run, and let's hope that he is going to do just that outside in the pasture. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time sitting out here with these two, allowing them in the warm Alabama sunshine, eating little rocks to help grind his food and his gizzard, which an emu does have, and then indeed watching him run. It's just been memories that flooded back from long ago when Nugget was a baby, and I just have really enjoyed having him as an addition here on our farm. There he comes. Boogity boogity. And they haven't ventured too far away from this fence area, which I'm glad, because he's still too small to be turned loose by himself out here. These squares that are in our fencing, except for where he is now, are big enough to where he can squeeze his little self through there. So I am only allowing them out here until he's big enough under my supervision. There's your buddy. There's Bramble. Yeah. He is so fast. And of course he can stop on a dime too. Bramble said, I hope he doesn't figure out I'm over here. He scares you, doesn't he, Bramble? And the funny thing is while the emu scares Bramble, Bandit, our big guardian dog, is scared to death of Bramble. And when Bandit sees Bramble, he takes off running. He hightails it all the way to the house. But yet Bramble is scared of this little fella right here. And I think it's just simply the fact that he moves so fast. That's a little intimidating, isn't it, buddy? Come here. Uh-oh, you fell down. What you doing? Got you a rock? And y'all, I read that in the wild, they have been known to eat rocks as big as golf balls. Oh, he found Bramble. Bramble said, let me leave. Come here, buddy. Come here, sit with me. I won't let him get you. Oh my goodness. He's a fast one. Here comes Sylvester. Woo! You're faster than my camera. I'm gonna make people dizzy. Woo!